So here's my pretend bucket. So this distance right here, you don't care about. What you care about is from inside here, there'll be a little button. So you go from here to the other side. So what you need a micrometer. And then you're going to put your bucket in there like this. And then you'll measure the distance from the center of that button to the other side. And so this is just a mock-up. So I'm not going to get real answers here. But I'll show you what it'll look like. So you close that on that, you'll get your measurement of what the actual bucket size is. So you record that. So we record that. Let's pretend we measured the bucket and it was 3.350. So that's the measured bucket. And then your measured lash was 0.10 millimeter. And the way you get that, I think you know how to do that. So here's your cam lobe, here's your bucket, and here's your feeler gauge. So this distance here is what you're measuring the lash. Can't move the cam up. The bucket has to be moved up or down to get that within spec. And I only wrote down the intake spec. So there's our intake spec. If you split the difference, it's 0.25 millimeters. So that's typically what you aim for, is to put it in the middle. Now, this will get you in ballpark. It depends on what buckets are actually available from Ford. So we come up here. We measured it at this, the one that's actually in the location. We measured the lash, and now you add these two together. So that gives you your zero lash. And what that is that's the distance in here. There's the valve tip that is up in here. And this distance is the bucket height. So that's what you're measuring with the micrometer. So these two added together gives you a zero lash, which means that there's no distance between the cam lobe and whatever is like what would be riding up against here. So this doing it this way just makes the math work out, and there's less room for error. So you get your zero lash, your clearance is 0.25. And then you're going to take this, you're going to subtract that from your zero lash, and that'll give you your new bucket size. So in this scenario, the measured lash was too tight. So on your clearances, this side too tight, this side too loose. So in the middle is kind of the happy place. So this is like a perfect example. So it might not work out as perfectly. I know that there is a bucket shim that is this size, so you could order that exact one. Yours might be vary quite a bit. So if like this was 3.215, you would just see if there was a 3.215. If not, try to get the closest one to what you measured it out to be, while still being within your tolerance. So it could be that you might only find buckets that are, to the left or to the right of the midpoint, which is fine as long as you're staying within those parameters. So I hope that makes sense.